Wow. Yeah, I barely slept 6 hours, and we're back at it. It was 14 hours of casting yesterday. It'll be another 14-hour marathon today, and it's all for a fantastic cause, the G1 League. I don't even know what season it is for the G1 League. The G1 League, Southeast Asian Qualifiers. I think it's Season 5 or maybe Season 6 of the G1 League, but that doesn't matter. The important thing is we're in the Southeast Asian Qualifiers right now for the G1 League, and the winner of this match will secure themselves a spot in the Phase 2 of the qualifier. Well, not of the qualifier, but of the event. This is Phase 1, the Southeast Asian Qualifier. Phase 2 is where 8 pre-invited teams who are seeded directly into that Phase 2 will meet 8 qualified teams, and they will pair themselves down until only 4 remain. Those 4 will meet with the 4 who attended the LAN finals last season: Orange, LGD China, DK, and IG. And then of those 8 teams, 4 will make their way to the true LAN finals, to be played sometime later in the coming months, and they will be grouped up with 2 teams from North America and Europe. That's right. We're going to have our first ever international Dota 2 event outside of the International 2. I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. Of course, for the G1 League, there's a lot of money at stake. It is, I believe, just the flat out the biggest prize pool for any single event outside of the International 2, period. That includes LAN events, that includes Western events, that includes Asian events. 53,000 US dollars in prizes, or 330,000 RMB, if some of you do your conversions better that way. But yeah, a lot of money. So, I was supposed to cast MSI Evo GT versus the Chain Stack, but I've been casting them a lot lately, and I heard that my friend Famofu, the Flea himself, is playing, and I just couldn't resist. We've had some incredible games with these guys, playing against TI9 champions, so this should be interesting. I know absolutely nothing about the TI9 champions. What I know about Famofu's Throw Club is, well, they're good at throwing games, so they definitely bring the entertainment. They've gone for some silly builds in the past. We have seen Famofu basically 6-slotted on Anti-Mage, his team ahead by like 30,000 gold, die twice, and lose the game to a Divine Rapier from EG. Well, Rilimin is their team name. You can see that fishing reel is their logo, and they're going to be playing against the TI9 champions who say, no Nyx Assassin. We're not no Tide Hunter. We're no Nyx Assassin.
10 seconds remaining.
So as far as the draft goes, pretty standard stuff, really. Rilimin not going for the Anti-Mage or the Invoker, something that the FTFC like to run back in the G1 League qualifier, or G1 League season, I should say, last year, a couple of months ago, 4 or 5 months. God, it's been 5 months at this point. Oh, how the time flies. Man, I'm getting old. But yeah, Darkseer, Lone Druid, Rubik. Obviously, this Darkseer, Lone Druid combo not quite as broken as it used to be. You can't Ion Shell the Bear anymore, so you can't be really annoying with it in the offlane. Still, it's a strong, versatile lineup. They can put the Darkseer mid, they can put him offlane. The Lone Druid can go offlane, he can go safe lane, he could even go mid. Although it's a bit risky when you're up against Shadow Demon and Queen of Pain and Mag, because any 2 of these, if you just add one more, like a Lina or a Leshrac, they could just kill your Lone Druid if he's mid, whereas here, like Darkseer, may be able to live through that. So we'll probably see the Lone Druid either safe lane or off lane. I'm leaning towards safe lane now, but or leaning towards off lane rather, but it remains to be seen. We'll see what they go with the rest of the way. As for the TI9 champions, same for them. Very versatile opening. The Mag could be their off lane, in which case most likely he'll be doing the mid pulls, he'll be in the jungle. The Queen of Pain could go solo mid, that's what we would expect. You can run Queen of Pain as a 1v1 matchup versus something like a Lone Druid, if you want to say run the Mag mid and do an aggressive trialing with the Shadow Demon. So basically, like I said, anything is possible. We'll just have to see how the rest of the draft develops. Rilimin banning out the Phantom Lancer. Even though Keeper of the Light was first banned, they still don't want to play against it, and I applaud their dedication to the cause. So if anybody is just tuning in wondering what's going on, we are in the round of 16. This is actually the final round for the G1 League Southeast Asian Qualifier, because a total of 8 teams will qualify for the main event. I just linked the brackets. I was supposed to cast the other game, and now the admin Atri is like, LD, where'd you go? We're waiting for you. I forgot to tell him that I'm casting this game, so sorry, Atri. Oh man. Well, I'll blame my lack of sleep for that. But yeah, as far as the draft goes, we see a Panda ban. Interesting that the TI9 champions would ban it, because something Winter talks about a lot is how good Panda is versus the Lone Druid. Obviously, just being able to Cyclone that bear for, I mean, what is it? It's like 8 seconds or something. The Panda Cyclone is ridiculous. It's like easily 2 or 3 times what a Yule Scepter Cyclone is. But of course,
10 seconds remaining.
they already have their Darkseer and Lone Druid, so fitting a Panda in their lanes is possible, but would be their last core hero. So the thing is, if you have Lone Druid, Darkseer, and Panda, your 5-man is just insanely strong. You're going to have an early Pipe mech, most likely. You'll definitely have an early Blink on the Panda, and then Lone Druid is going to have a whale of a time. So I think a smart ban. They're worried a bit about the group up 5-man and push from Rilimin, and they could send the Darkseer into the jungle, play him as the off lane. And of course that Darkseer can go solo mid, so we'll see. But I actually like the Panda ban here quite a bit. Even though the Panda is good against Lone Druid, having him on the same team is quite strong. The more bears, the better. That would give them potentially 2 Pandas, depending if Rilimin actually has the right skin. Let's hope they do. Nature's Prophet, the final ban. So it looks like they're expecting Rilimin to play a little bit greedy. They're a bit worried about the split push. Lone Druid, Darkseer, and Prophet, very strong split pushing lineup. Even though most people don't think of Darkseer as a pushing hero, he actually is, not just because of Ion Shell, but because he's so elusive. He's very tanky, he can spam Surge, which means you need permanent chain stun to bring him down. Or, well, Shadow Demon Magnus is actually pretty much more than enough, but you need a lot of damage to bring him down. It's going to take 2-3 heroes, during which time Lone Druid, Prophet can be pushing the other lane. So they're worried about the split push, Rilimin worried about the turtling and the late game of TI9. Rilimin has a pretty strong mid-game 5-man. Let's see what they go for here at the second stage. They have the Rubik. They don't have a setup stun to go with, or a follow-up stun to go with him. Something like the Lina is quite likely. They could also use a little bit more chain stun of their own, because they only have Telekinesis Lift and whatever Rubik can steal. So they obviously have the Rubik. That's really effective against Magnus. We've seen that before. If he gets the early levels, and hopefully he will. So the second stage of this draft proceeding quite slowly right now. Just finishing up the bans, the Void, the final ban. Rilimin showing a lot of respect towards the TI9 champions late game. And the Jakiro will be the choice. So big AoE from the TI9 champions. I'm just reading the chat right now, trying to find out if anybody knows who the TI9 champions are, but I'm just seeing someone say that they have a female player. They have a girl, Lilith. I'm not sure if that's true or if the chat's trolling me, but that's pretty awesome if so. It's good to see. I mean, that's the nice thing about video games is anyone can play, and there's really no gender barriers the way that there is in sports where you just can't be as strong or fast. But, well, we'll see if it is in fact a girl. Either way, it will be a very entertaining game for sure. So they have tons of AoE on the TI9 champions. I'm not really a big fan of Jakiro, to be totally honest. I think the hero just doesn't bring that much to the table compared to other supports. But if you have something like a Faceless Void, then he's very strong. And Tidehunter the pick. So Rilimin is going to get a strong 5-man specialist in the Tidehunter. Could be one of their solos. So we could see the Tidehunter offlane, the Darkseer mid, or the reverse. The Tidehunter mid, the Darkseer offlane or jungle. But it does look like a safe lane Lone Druid now, as he is by far the hardest carry. Could be Rubik Tidehunter support in a tri-lane, and then the Darkseer mid, the Lone Druid offlane. So those are basically the 3 possibilities for Rilimin, which is to say they could do anything. I mean, that's what I was talking about with their draft, is it doesn't really reveal much. Whereas for the TI9 champions, you pretty much figure the Queen of Pain's going to go mid. The Mag's going to be in the offlane or doing some jungling. He could get the safe lane farm. I mean, they have options of their own, but it feels like a waste anytime you don't see Queen of Pain in the mid lane, just because her rune control is so superior to pretty much any other hero. Magnus Darkseer is an even matchup. I mean, whatever this mid lane is going to be, both teams are going to get a lot of farm out of it. And the TI9 champions complete their draft with a Luna, so it's now looking like a Luna probably going to be... It could be an offensive tri-lane. They do have 3 ranged heroes, Jakiro, Luna, Shadow Demon. But I imagine it's going to be a safe lane Luna with a defensive tri-lane. This is how you could keep the Darkseer out of the lane. So that would make more sense for the TI9 champions. Probably...
Templar Assassin.
Well, now it's probably going to be a Queen of Pain mid. Because if it's not, Mag is not going to have a good time. If that TA plays properly, can really shut the Mag down, can pull... Well, not shut him down, but definitely dominate the mid lane and have that big advantage going into the mid game. Okay, apparently they're a Chinese team, so I know a little bit about them. Which is to say not much at all. There's no Chinese symbols in their names, so... Anyway, with that being said, we have a moment here. I think it's a great time to introduce the team. So on the rating side, we have Rilimin, formerly known as Famofu's Throws Fan Club, formerly known as Sequential Gaming. And probably some others in the middle there. They were last seen playing in the G1 League, didn't have a good run. Had a great run in the qualifiers, brought us some amazingly entertaining games. But in the end, they fell very, very short. So, with that being said, we'll introduce the Throw Club. Famofu, playing that Templar Assassin, preparing to throw. Lippy, on the Tidehunter. Famofu is apparently getting mad. I didn't even say anything. I just called his team by the name that he came up with. T-Duck, on the Darkseer. Kux, on the Lone Druid. Vodki, on the Rubik. So, as far as those lanes go, I wonder what they're thinking here. I really think it should be the safe lane Lone Druid. And then the defensive tri-lane with the Darkseer, off-lane or jungling. But we'll see. FTFC is a team that in the past liked to run the Tidehunter as a solo. So it's just that this game, he's not going to get anything against these heroes for TI9 champs. If they run a defensive tri-lane, he is going to get completely shut down. So on the side of the TI9 champions, your Chinese contenders from the sounds of things, we have YXL playing the Shadow Demon, John H on the Magnus. I am fucking pro on the Queen of Pain. Yes, you are. SDN on the Luna, and Lilith. Perhaps the first girl gamer. The female Dota 2 player I've ever cast playing the Jakiro. Shout out to DPM, another awesome female Dota 2 player. In the chat right now, but yeah, so we have a bit of a pause here, guys. A good time for me to show you the brackets for this tournament, as I meant to do so earlier, but I did get a bit distracted. So what you're looking at right now is basically the rest of this qualifier, the rest of Phase 1. The winner of these 8 matches that you see in the middle of the bracket, those teams all move on. We don't even play the next matches. We'll have 8 teams when today is done, and those 8 teams go directly into Phase 2, where the likes of LGDN and 7 other invited teams will be awaiting them. From those 16 teams, 8 from the qualifier, and then 8 that were invited directly into Phase 2, 4 will emerge and compete then with the final 4 from last season, DK, LGD China, IG, and Orange. And from those 8 will emerge 4. Those 4, plus 2 North American European teams, will be your 6 that head to the LAN finals in China. Details to be announced have not been announced yet. If you're watching this on Twitch TV, you are doing something wrong. You should be watching the stream on Twitch TV, but you should be watching it from the embedded stream on g1.2p.com because it will help the G1 League to run future events like this. So if you want to support the G1 League, if you want to support these international Dota 2 events with LAN finals, then you should definitely be watching on their website. Every little bit goes a long way, and of course it helps us too. So thank you very much for that. But with all that being said, well, the game's now unpaused. It looks like they're actually going into the enemy jungle, making a little foray here. Let's see if they think about an aggressive tri-lane. They could, but the issue is if Rilimin has something... If they're aware of this, they have heroes like Rubik and Darkseer, and with those two, it's going to be very hard to tower dive. We'll see, but right now it looks like the Lone Druid is bottom, so they predicted that safe lane Lone Druid, which would have been my guess as well. Placing some observers behind the tower, looking to potentially keep this aggressive tri-lane going. The thing is, they don't really have a strong off-laner. You could put Queen of Pain here 1v1 against Lone Druid, but Lone Druid should win that matchup, especially without Queen of Pain having access to the runes. So instead, they opt to run that aggressive tri-lane. And we're going to see John H heading towards top. He'll be playing the safe lane. You already see the Lone Druid Bear looking for some creep-skipping shenanigans. Just going to bring that lane back for T-Duck so he doesn't have to leave the tower. Off the bat, Observer Ward in the lane. Good. I mean, this is really ideal vision for the Dire, but Lippy has a sentry. Oh, wait, he placed it? Where'd he put it? Oh, placed it in the river up top. Okay. So they don't know about this vision the TI9 champs have. If you stand behind these trees, they won't actually see your ward being placed. So something you won't be able to de-ward until you have some reason to suspect it's there. So running the aggressive tri-lane, but doing it on the Dire side in the off-lane, which means you can't really pull. All you can do is contest their pulls, which is what Shakiro's doing right now. Nice play by Lilith, going to interrupt that one. Oh, it's still going to pull in the end, though. Oh, Oh, that's unfortunate. Just got the 2 small creeps in range. Aggro acquired. And now we're going to see a little bit of finessing for this. Kux doesn't have his bear right now. Until he hits level 3, that bear is not going to be here. Meanwhile, contesting. Actually, we may see the bear on the way back now, but even so, it's going to take a little while for it to arrive. Meanwhile, the pull being farmed by the TI9 champ, so with the point in the Lunar Blessing at level 1, your entire team has collectively plus 42 damage. That's basically another hero. So it's like having 4 heroes in the lane in terms of auto attacks, which means if you're Rilimin, you have the Blundered Bear, but that only equals the playing field in terms of how much damage your team can put out. So the offensive trialing kind of makes sense. As mentioned, they don't have anyone who can really solo against this. The issue is, and you don't want to let Rubik and Tide get easy levels, because their level 6 is a lot stronger than the level 6 of a Shadow Demon and Jakiro. But the issue is, they're still going to have a hard time actually stopping the TI9 champs from, or Rilimin from stacking and pulling and farming, because, well, they don't have a ward blocking the pull camp. They don't really have fantastic vision where they want it, which is like right over here. Some aggression picking up on Kux, taking some big damage, but we'll be okay. And with the lane pushing, they are going to give a lot of experience to the TI9 champs, but at the same time, the stacks and pulls will happen. It is spotted, but can they actually go on this? We'll have to wait and see. With the bear here, that can also be used just to kind of body block and be a nuisance in these small-scale engagements. So the other 2 lanes, Queen of Pain versus TA mid. Famofu is not taking a point in meld. At the same time, it wouldn't matter, because they've actually given Sentry Wards to the Queen of Pain. Famofu, perhaps seeing that, just doesn't even bother to skill that meld yet. Top lane, Darkseer versus Mag. A matchup that, well, we talked about it yesterday. Winter was discussing this, is, you know, there's more efficient, and something I've talked about many times in the past, is you can really play this a lot more efficiently as Darkseer if you're just creep skipping and farming the small camp simultaneously. He mentioned Admiral Bulldog is doing it, but, I mean, we've seen a lot of players who've done that here and there in the past. It's just not consistently. So, if you're T-Duck, you really want to be pulling the lane into the enemy small camp, then farming both, because the other thing is Mag's never going to be able to approach you to get remotely close enough to actually punish that. If he does, then he's just missing a full wave. He already is, just to try and harass. He's missing some experience. Just barely getting back in range as Jun H. So the mid lane, still going well for Famofu. 10 and 7 to the 8 and 8 of the Queen of Pain. Luna getting a lot more farm than Lone Druid. 13 and 3 to 10 and 0, which is not too bad, but not really ideal. They're actually looking to go on this Lone Druid. He doesn't have backup here. Oh, that Ice Path. If that hits, that's a kill. That's your first blood if that hits. Almost certainly. Just out of range. So, Rilimin is definitely taking a risk here, doing all these pulls, because they don't have someone available to actually protect the Lone Druid. When you're doing the double pulls like this, you have one hero that's basically stacking this camp. You have another hero who's doing the pulls and farming the wave there. So as a result, they got to be careful. Having Tidehunter in these sort of engagements can be helpful, but he's actually maxing Gush. I'm not really a big fan of this. I think Aggro Smash is better even as a support in a tri-lane, just because you can spam it. You're not going to get off more than maybe 2 Gushes in a single engagement. Probably 1 in most cases, whereas the Anchor Smash you can use 2, 3 times. Bottom lane, oh, Famofu is going to be mad. He's going to be sad that haste turn was denied. So now he'll have to Bottle Crow instead. But not the biggest deal. He's got the boots up. T-Duck not creep skipping again. He was earlier. Now he's not. It kind of baffles me why some players stop. As long as you keep creep skipping constantly, and as long as you're doing it like over here. Oh no, I missed first blood. Jakiro's going to fall bottom lane. No idea how that got started. They didn't even use Disruption. Disruption was on cooldown. So Jakiro must have just got caught way out of position. He's a tanky support hero, but if he's out of position, he can fall pretty easily. And the Radiant have good vision. With this ward, they can see a lot. Oh, they're going in. Onto the Luna. Disrupted after the Gush Telekinesis combo. But, no, that's going to be it. So the first blood off the bat. TI9 Chips running the aggressive tri-lane and paying for it. And that's something they really can't afford. They're running a tri-lane with a Luna. Luna really needs that level 6. She needs the early strong start. And she didn't die, but, you know, giving up a death like that is going to make it harder for them to contest the pull. It's going to make it harder for them to prevent this Tidehunter from getting level 6 in a timely fashion. Famofu's doing well mid on that Templar Assassin. Sidate at 20 and 13. Still way ahead of the Queen of Pain. T-Duck not creep skipping again. Just going to be directly in the lane. Magnetar actually pretty much Evo Darkseer. This is better than he should get. He should be behind. even if he's bottle crowing a bit. Because Darkseer can not only farm the lane, he can also farm the neutrals, but I'm beating a dead horse at this point. Regen rune bottom. So I am fucking pro is gonna look to get this. Vodki wants to deny it. He will. No! Oh! Nicely done. I thought he was gonna try to cliff him, but he just throws him away from the rune and picks it up himself. Well played by Vodki. And that's now both solo mids. Very unhappy. Fumofu had that haste rune. There was a regen for the Queen of Pain. Neither gets the rune in the end. Now Tranquil boots up on the Lone Druid. It makes it harder to actually go on him, and he's level 5. The GG Entangle is there to start this off. Vodki wants to go in. The Ice Path forced out. Now that Lone Druid is 5, it gets really hard for TI9 champs to fight. They had a slightly stronger tri-lane before level 5 for the Lone Druid, but since he has it already, and there's no Eclipse, the advantage swings completely the other direction. If you ever get an Entangle on anyone, Entangle does insane amounts of damage over time. It's 60 damage and it lasts forever. 3 seconds, that's an additional 180 damage, plus you have to think about it this way, you're probably getting 4-5 auto attacks off, at least on heroes during that time. So it's basically, it's equivalent to like a 300-400 damage nuke in terms of the total amount of damage you can put out over the course of the Entangle. Sure, it's not instant, but at these early levels, supports are not going to be able to get away. Solos are unlikely to even join the fights. So the tower lane, top lane, while this was happening, was denied. So John H doing well in that safe lane, I have to say. Level 8 already. He's actually ahead of the Darkseer in levels. Has 4 denies. Darkseer went back to base. So T-Duck, not really the optimal off-lane play. But he's still an off-lane Darkseer. And he's with TI9 champs running an aggressive tri-lane. The issue is they can't keep Darkseer down. It's really why if you want to run an aggressive tri-lane, you'll usually see the European teams, they ban Darkseer, because he's one of the few heroes that wins any 1v1 matchup, or at least farms freely in any 1v1 matchup. Of course, he can still jungle even if you run a defensive tri-lane, but then at least you're keeping him out of a lane and he's not pressuring a tower, which is something to say. So as far as net worth goes, it is Luna on top. SDN farming well, but Tranquils and Bracer is it. The issue is he's only level 4. He's just really underleveled. Luna as a tri-lane hero, is offensive tri-lane hero. In theory, it's nice because you have all the damage on 3 ranged heroes, but in practice, I just find it doesn't really work that well because she's squishy. Oh, they're going to look to dive here. Tidehunter needs to be careful. Actually, it's Vodki who does. They're circling around. Vodki's going to run right in. There's the Elusive Beam to start. The Ice Path to follow. Not being cast just yet. There you go. Nice dodge by Vodki. Still will fall, though, as Luna can run him down. But a 4-hero investment. They only get the Rubik. It's a good kill, but not the end of the world. Now they're going to farm these neutrals. This will be a big victory. With the neutrals, now it becomes a significant gank, because that's basically like 2 hero kills, as well as denying a lot of gold to Rilimin. So way more significant than a single hero kill would be. I imagine with that, TI9 champs has somewhat equalized things, and indeed it looks like they have. Nice micro from Kux, just keeping his hero parked around here, so the bear can sort of poke away at the enemy supports on the sidelines. He needs to be careful not to get caught by a disruption in range of Ice Path, though. That kill was also big because it gets SDN much closer. Oh no, he's entangled almost under the tower. A gush here is going to be the death of him, almost certainly. How can he get out? Oh, Ice Path, maybe that's how. Then the dual breath as well. What an incredible Ice Path. I can't believe he's living. Now Lippy's on the run. 2, 3 poison stacks up. Rubik comes in. Templar Assassin with the big dive mid. Double damage on Fumofu. Finds the solo kill on the Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, the Shadow Demon to fall. The Luna will live, but at the cost of possibly 2 of his supports. There's no telekinesis. The bear not being micro that well. Actually, can't be micro because it can't be returned. And the Ice Path will finish the job. It can be resummoned. Let's see if he does it. No resummon. He doesn't want to, apparently. Fumofu says, I got this, guys. And he does got this, guys. Picks up the kill. So 2 kills for Fumofu. Gets the solo kill mid. Then also picks up a double damage and a haste. Could even go again on Queen of Pain. Has the phase boots, but didn't have any sort of... If we look at Queen of Pain, has treads. I mean, really, Queen of Pain shouldn't die there. TA... Oh, what? I'm gonna need coffee after this game. My bad. But yeah, it looks like Queen of Pain gets a double kill bottom lane. Lone Druid and Rubik to fall. They were pretty low after that fight, and they don't actually have a lane ward right now, so they didn't see the Queen of Pain TP ganking in bottom, and nice play overall from I Am fucking pro. God, I like that name, actually. It's very simple and direct. Blinks in, starts with the Sonic, or the Scream. The Scream not coming out yet. Now the Scream will come. Shadow Strike to start. Easy kill, and now Luna, almost level 6. T-Duck pressuring top is up to 73 CS. He's going to have a mech soon. They are trading heavily for this, and Famofu is fat. Going to have a Blink Dagger or Yasha soon. I'm trying to think. I think this game you're better off with the Yasha for Rilimin. I mean, you could go Blink, or even BKB. I would say Yasha or BKB, because the Blink Dagger against the TI9 champs, they have a 5-man lineup in the mid game. They want to be pushing with their Eclipse and their RP online as the tower goes down mid. The Yasha will help you split push faster. The BKB will help you team fight better. The Blink is really for ganking, and against TI9 champs lineup, it's a hard lineup to gank. Luna could be potentially killed, but you have to worry about diving the tower, disruption, and then Eclipse turning things around. And obviously Mag and Queen of Pain very survivable. So we'll see. Blink is certainly an option, but I would probably prefer that BKB, that Yasha as well. Once Tide hits 6, then they could take fights. So BKB would be pretty legitimate. They're going to smoke, head towards bottom. Kux may fall again. He doesn't have his bear. He's dead. He's dead. You dead. There's an RP here. There's no way out. Yeah, this is not happening for Kux. Not even going to need to use that RP. He probably should have TP'd immediately, but it would have been cancelled anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Maybe could have forced out an RP if he did it. But between these heroes, they have 4 ways to cancel TPs, so you're definitely dying. Meanwhile, top lane, they're going to go on Luna. Iron Shell is up. Eclipse was there. Doesn't matter. Famofu. Oh, also the other reason he doesn't really need a Blink is because he has Darkseer, so he can be surged into the fights. Blink is still not a bad choice, but with the way this game is going, your lone druid being shut down, Famofu needs to go for more of those damage items, those fighting items, the semi-carry build, but he's going to go Blink, so proving me wrong. Let's see what he could do with this. There are some delightful targets. Mainly it's going to be that Jakiro. This Luna and the lone druid both having a very poor time this game. Kux, level 7, really should static farm this lane, keep it at the tower as much as possible. He has resummoned his bear. He's parked it here to protect himself, giving him the vision. And now the gold graph, still favoring Rilimin and peaking. Up to 2k in both departments. They got the tier 1 top, they got the tier 1 mid. There was a tower deny top, but still they're up basically a half tower at this point. And they're going to have Ravage soon. Mag has RP. But Ravage, this is a support who's going to have Ravage. And they have a mechanism online, which Mech and Blink, they have a very strong team fight of their own. No Ravage yet, though, which means it's a good time to push. If you don't get the tower now, good luck getting it later. They're going to work away on it. Vodki going to drive them back a bit with the Fade Bolt to start, stealing something. Oh, he still Scream. Good luck pushing against this. Yeah, so Cuck's doing a nice job just static farming the lane. As long as you keep on denying the creeps, you'll always just sit here, and then if TI9 champs want to gank you, it is going to be a very difficult gank. They'll have to blow RP. Tide doesn't have Ravage, though. Oh, no, this is going to be bad. They're heading for the Luna top, but while that's happening, their lone druid will die bottom, and this Luna may have time to notice and back off, and Cuck's about to die here, I think. Disruption to start. The TPs, will they come? They don't have Ravage, so I think he's just dead for the count. Down for the count. They're frantically trying to go on Luna top. While this happens, Cucks is going to drop. Luna escapes. Great trade from TI9 champs and massive time being wasted. And their Tide still not having Ravage. 15 minutes in. I actually remember seeing this in quite a few FTFC games. Whenever they pick Tide, it seems like they just have a lot of difficulties getting them to that level 6. We're seeing it again, and it's really hurting them. Potentially, they could have had Darkseer TP in and drop a mech. Although I guess he might have not have had a TP scroll. He really should. I mean, it's not quite as good as Ravage, but it is the same sense. You get TP in, surge your ally away, mech them up, and it can be a game changer. For split pushing, the Blink Dagger, again, not really the best item for this, but it'll help him move around a bit. Needs to get out of here soon, though. If he stays for this catapult, he may fall. Blink gets the Scream to start. Now the Shadow Strike to follow. Man's up with the Meld. Now goes Invis, and they're trying to gank him without Dust or Sentries, which is questionable, to say the least. Mofu kind of chuckles, heads into the trees. He'll be okay. Now T-Duck's going to start pushing out the mid lane. Up to 100 CS at 15 minutes in. That's your Darkseer. And again, this was with suboptimal farming as well. But Lilith will drop. Darkseer gets a kill mid. TA's now hunting the Luna. Invis could maybe look to go here. With Refraction, if it's just the Luna, you can tank the entire Eclipse and take basically no damage. But it's dangerous. If anyone else is there, then you die. Luna now, SDN now going for that BKB. I'm fucking pro, going for his Orchid. It's a pretty big game to get Orchid. It can be used to help you burst down here like TA in the fights, but Ideally, I think what you want to do with this Orc is just silence the Tidehunter and ignore him, or silence the Rubik if you're worried about him stealing RP. Speaking of RP, I don't think we've seen one yet this game. I don't think John H did not use it in the bottom gank earlier. He obviously didn't use a top against Darkseer. Just no real RPs this game. Maybe one that I missed, but I don't think so. Blink Dagger coming soon for him. A slow, stately pace to this game. We're now 14 kills in. So for everyone who's wondering, what's the format for this event? We're in the qualifiers right now, and we're in phase 1 of the event. The Southeast Asian qualifier. Basically, the way this works, it's a best out of 3. We're going to have 4 best out of 3s on this stream today. There's a total of 8. We're only casting half of them. And Famofu looks to be dead. But the winner of the best out of 3 secures a spot in the main event. The loser goes home. So whoever wins this will move on into phase 2, where they'll be facing grouped up basically and mixed up with the 8 other teams that were directly invited into that phase. A long day of Dota ahead of us. First G1 League qualifiers, then the We Play Group A, featuring Na'Vi, ESN +4, and a few other teams. So I'm looking forward to that a lot. It should be a great day of Dota. And then I'm going to get a bit of a rest for my voice, I think. May take a day off. 28 hours of casting, 2 days. Yeah, I think that'll do it in a pinch. In comes the Darkseer, surges in as T-Duck. Now runs away, has an ultimate orb up. Could maybe look to go, vacuums the Shadow Demon onto the high ground. Eclipse is deployed, doing absolutely nothing. The mech is here. He can just surge away potentially. I don't know if they have him. Yeah, they do. One more Lucid Beam. They get the kill. But the issue is Shadow Demon's on a cliff. He's going to die for sure. And now Queen of Pain looking to go back in. But nobody to kill here. Oh no, he gets away. Lack of abilities to cancel TPs. They didn't want to blow the Ravage on him. They didn't have the telekinesis left. He will escape. The good news, though, is Lone Druid is getting some farm. Finally, at long last, Kux is being left the hell alone. He did well in the lanes, then he really struggled after that. Some serious hate on him. We still haven't seen an RP. John H, no RP. Now he's got his blink. I imagine that reverse polarity is going to come out now in the bottom lane. If Kux pushes this tower, he dead. He won't, though. He'll back. And now Famofu. Oh, he's going to find a target. He really wants to go now, but it's going to be hard to do so. In terms of the way the game's progressing, Vodka is a Blink Dagger. That's big. Blink on this Rubik means a potentially stolen RP plus Ravage. They already have mech. T-Duck not going for a pipe, which I actually think this is a fantastic game for a pipe, but Scythe of Ice is still decent against Queen of Pain, against Luna. You can burst them down quickly, prevent them from blinking away, in the case of the Queen of Pain, or BKB in the case of the Luna. And they have a solid burst damage lineup. I'm fucking pro. Blinks in. Wants to go on this lone druid. Little does he know Darkseer is behind him. TP out from Kux. RP on 2, but mech was used in time. Queen of Pain ult is there. Not going to be enough. Ravage to fly. Where's the follow-up? Here's Famofu. Brings down 1. Wants some more, but there's your Demonic Purge. John H going to hoof it out of there. Looking for the escape. Can he get out? Trap deployed, but he blinks to safety. A slow reaction from Rilimin, and honestly, that Lone Druid could have TP'd away. They just thought with the mech they could fight. They don't have Ravage now, but they're still going in. This could be bad. There is no Eclipse, but the Lucid Beam is there. Brings down the Tide. Now into Famofu, who's getting picked off, getting brought down. Not looking good for him. Rubik does have the blink, but will blink away. A double kill for the TI9 champs. They lose their Queen of Pain, but she did her job. She killed off this Lone Druid again, and just not going to be progressing in items this game from the looks of things. Does he have anything on the courier? He does not. So even that Maelstrom is going to be a long way off. It's a game where you really want a Radiance Lone Druid, because you have TA, Lone Druid, and Darkseer. They're really strong split pushers. I feel for Rilimin, the item selections are not really suiting the game. Sure, they have a decent 5-man, but they have a really strong late game. You're up against RP, but you shut down the Luna early, and your Lone Druid was ahead of him. With that and a Yasha on the Templar Assassin into something that can help you split push faster, as well as a Darkseer who already can split push effectively, they could just farm the entire map with the Radiance, but the issue is that they didn't protect their Lone Druid, and then Famofu went for the Blink, now the Ogre Club. So they want to take fights. But I do feel that plays to the strengths of TI9 champs, who don't have quite the same mobility. They only have 2 good split pushers, and even then, a hero like Luna, much easier to gank than something like a Templar Assassin or a Darkseer. So I feel, for Rilimin, not really the ideal way to play the matchup given the hero composition and the way the lanes develop, but they still have a decent shot in this game. They are behind by... Well, they're about to be behind by gold at the rate they're going. Up by 1,000, but they're up 3 towers to 2. So they're up 1 tower. 1 was denied against them. So they're up slightly in terms of farm overall, but very minimal. TI9 champs, it is feeling like they're gaining some momentum. And they get a big item on the Queen of Pain and that Orchid. That can be a game breaker. And the BKB on the Luna. That comes out now. Vodki with this blink. This could be a tide turner for Rilimin. If he could steal RP, if he could steal Eclipse, or even Queen of Pain ult potentially, would be absolutely massive. He just wasn't in the fight in the last engagement. Couldn't get there to steal RP in time. But now he's got blink, and now they're looking to force the fights. They have the Maelstrom up on the Lone Druid. So he actually, it looks like he did buy it right before he died, and just couldn't see it because the bear was dead. Mag, though, has a blink and an RP. He could maybe look to go here. Would like to see Rilimin not group up so much. There's your blink. Haste from Mag. Skewers the Lone Druid back into the tower. There's no follow-up, though, but the TPs are coming in. Queen of Pain has arrived. Could just TP out now if he wants to at least bait an RP. He'll do so. They're going to have to RP him. They will. He'll fall. Meanwhile, top lane, they've lost their Jakiro. If that's it, it's not that bad. But then they lose the Shadow Demon, and Famofu looking for the Luna. 2 for 1, or 2 for 2, as Tidehunter... Oh, he actually died when he TP'd top. Didn't he? Oh, did get Ravage off. So 2 for 2 in the end. 2 supports on the side of TI9 champs, and the Lone Druid dying again on the side of Rilimin. RP and Ravage used. Definitely a victory for the TI9 champs. So they just are getting the better trades. They're really focusing this Lone Druid, and Rilimin not doing much to protect him. In that fight, we even saw Tidehunter just TP, abandon him basically to go to the top lane to join the fight there. Not really liking the level of support they're giving this Lone Druid. Would like to see them bait him more. Maybe smoke behind him. Maybe just have 2 or 3 heroes sitting behind him. Have him farm safely at towers. Have your team prepared to defend him. Instead, they're pretty much just saying, Cucks, farm what you can on your own, but we're not going to back you up too much. And Lone Druid, if he got fat enough, could easily carry this game. TI9 champs, they have Luna, but a poorly farmed Luna is not going to outcarry a Lone Druid with a decent set of items. With equal farm later on in the game, Lone Druid is going to bring a lot more to the team. And the issue is that Shadow Demon isn't really that great against Lone Druid. As great of an anti-carry as he is in general. Sure, you can purge the bear, but it's not as devastating as it is against a hero. And Lone Druid as a hero is so incredibly tanky. But they've decided just to throw him to the Wolves. Throw him to the Luna. Throw him to the Queen of Pain. And now they're going to go kill him again. Cucks. This time he'll spot them out. This time he'll back off. In good news for Rilimin, BKB is coming soon with Famofu, so getting close to that. It's going to be hard to defend this push bottom, though. They're not in position. They don't have Ravage, and RP is online. That RP, the cooldown's so much lower than most other ultimate abilities. T-Duck. It's gonna looks like he might die here. Oh no, that's their mech. Down the drain immediately. Entangle and Luna would turn this around, but there's an RP on the mag. Blinks it. Only catches the tide. Now the RP stolen by the Rubik. Can Vodki find the opening? He's got his blink in 1 second time. He could blink in. He could RP. You know he wants to. He's thinking about it. He's not going yet. He could right now. No, he's being shadow poisoned. The shadow poison. Disabling that blink. Now the ice path as well. He's gonna die to a shockwave, and the tide will as well. They never get off the RP. Oh man, if he got that RP, he could have just gone, but he wanted to hit 3-4 heroes. Now Famofu gets the counter kill. Double damage up on him. Lilith on the run. There is no Eclipse. Oh, yes there is. There you go. BKB is out. T-Duck will die. One more auto attack, bringing him down. Mega kill. Imagine if they'd actually gotten to use that RP. It was stolen by the Rubik. Imagine if the Tidehunter had Ravage, but alas, neither of these was the case. So instead, a big fight going the way of the TI9 champs. Would really like to see that pipe up on the Darkseer instead of this ultimate orb. There's so much nuke damage. I mentioned it a while ago. It was a crucial pickup for them. Just to deal with the AoE of TI9. But they haven't gone for it. Now the Ravage is there. TPN for the Tide is going to catch 2. Needs to finish off I Am Fucking Pro. They need 2 kills to even the score. They'll get it with the lift. But Mofu secures the kill. So all is not lost in the end. But it's all said and done. Actually a victory for Rilimin. It looked like a big loss. But that Tidehunter respawning quickly, rejoining the fight. That allows them to turn it around. And there was a buyback from the Darkseer, who actually died again. Queen of Pain also bought back. Wants to contest, or wanted to really contest that fight, and the question now is, can they contest this Roche, is what I meant to say. They're working on Roche. They're going to throw Shadow Demon into the pit. Oh no! He's in there with the big bad rock. They're gonna bash away at him. He'll go down. Well played by Vodkey. Well played, sir. You get a prize for that. Now there's Inferno being created by that Jakiro, trying to force them off the pit, but they can go. They're gonna have this Aegis. BKB's up on Famofu. No Ravage, but Vodkey doing a nice job of zoning everyone back. Without Queen of Pain, they're not gonna be able to fight this. Oh, maybe they can. It's not quite dead yet. Uh-oh. Is RP back up? No. Mag has RP, but he's blinked mid. Maybe a misclick. Would have been dangerous to fight. Because without the Luna, they don't really have physical damage, and with the BKB for Famofu, he can just tank through those auto attacks from Mag and look to turn the fights around. He's gonna jump in top and go back to farming. Famofu's Throws Fan Club, or Rilimin as they're now known. I like the old name better, gotta say, but they disappoint me. No throwing. Actually playing reasonably disciplined compared to their past ventures. They steal the Aegis. The Lone Druid died a billion times this game, but Famofu's getting fat, and Cuck's getting closer to an Assault Cuirass, and that will help him. You almost can look at him like the 2 position right now. Famofu's your big damage dealer in the fights. He's the one with the BKB. He's the one who's going to be very difficult to bring down. Even though they've given Cuck's the Aegis, I still feel like Famofu is the big threat. Whereas Cuck's more of, not a red herring, but a secondary carry who's mostly there to push out the lanes, to tank up to soak up some spells, and basically to just buff up Famofu's damage with that Assault Cuirass once it's complete. Vodkey now has Blink and Blink Dagger, so stealing RP is going to be much easier now, because he can use that Blink. They won't be able to cancel it with clever Shadow Poison spam from Chomix YXL. He's going to really have to work if they want to protect this RP. Good positioning from Vodkey, sitting way behind the tower. Blinking and skewering, Blink skewering him, Blink RPing him is going to be very hard. I'm not sure TI9 champs can actually take this fight. With Rubik having a Blink and Blink, with Rubik having double Blink, that's what I should say, it's almost impossible not to give away your RP. Unless Vodkey really misplays. And if they have RP and Ravage, and a BKB up on their Luna, on their TA, they really should take the fight. No Manta on the Luna. They don't have a way to quickly remove those refraction charges if the supports get melted. And there's going to be a vacuum to start it off. Oh boy. Blinken skewers away the Darks here. This could be the opening. He's going to get silenced up. He's going to be focused down, but Famofu mans up. There's your RP. Was it stolen by Vodkey? He will get it off. He blinks it. He RPs too. Counter initiate from him. Famofu manning up. Still fighting. Nice. Well, actually a total airball of a Queen of Pain. It'll look good, but it was a little too slow. Triple in the end for SDN, who was never focused. Aegis will pop. Vodkey will come back. Cucks will come back, rather. Famofu looking to jump in again, perhaps. Looking to go here, but there's 4 on 3 right now. They don't have Ravage. They already used the stolen RP. I don't know what they can hope to do, but they're trying. There's a disruption. This bear needs an entangle. Where is the entangle? Cucks is not getting them. Oh, Lilith manning up, gets surrounded by the Lone Druid. Now he'll be brought down. The Queen of Pain is isolated. That's going to be 2 to fall. And the carries of Rilimin just too tanky once the initial barrage of spells is gone. TI9 champs forced to run, forced to retreat. Nice job there in the end. Rilimin, they got off the Ravage, then the Lift followed, and that set up a nice RP steal by Vodkey, who gave it away. He stole Ice Path as a secondary spell. He didn't hold on to the RP. He's level 13. He would get to use that RP again, but instead, he says, I want an extra kill now, even if it means our next 5v5 isn't going to be as strong. Personally, I'd hold on to the RP. Because with RP and Ravage, your team fight's pretty good. But I really feel like T-Duck is... This item selection, the Ultimate Orb, not working for them at all. They already have Telekinesis Lift from the Rubik. They have Ravage. They have whatever Rubik can steal. And they have TA, who's a great chaser. And you have Entangle. You have some ways to deal with Queen of Pain. A Pipe would make the Darkseer so much harder to burst down this game. Even with Soul Catcher, there's still a lot of magic damage that can be blocked before that additional damage comes in. Or that will be blocked separately, I should say. And even just living an extra few seconds can make all the difference. Plus his team's more survivable. The bear gets ganked. Wall gets dropped. Not a very good wall. You can't wall the bear. They do kill it, though. Now Mag trapped. What am I talking about? You can't wall the bear. That's a Darkseer. Our Darkseer's on the Radiant, I mean. Oy, oy, oy. So very even game. 31 minutes in. 2K lead in terms of golden experience for Rilimin. Does feel like anybody's game. And Luna, now the highest farmer on the map. Actually really pulling ahead of Famofu, who is now going Desolator. Not going for Yasha, not going for Manta. Just going for pure burst damage in the fights. And it actually, mid lane. Big engagement to break out. Vacuum to start. Disruption is there. Shadow Demon looking to survive. Vice Pass, crisscrossing. X marks the spot. Blink in. RP on 2, but once again, stolen by Vodka, has his Blink Dagger in 1 second time. Can't use it. Now the Ravage gets the mag. Are they going to go in for more? There's your Blink for Rubik. Looking for the RP. There's your RP. Why did they group up? They must not have known it was stolen. That's a huge mistake. 2FE Pro will fall. Now onto Lilith. That's 4 dead. That was a disastrous error from the Queen of Pain. Jumping into the midst of that fight. Right on top of the Jakiro. Easiest RP of the Rubik's life. Nice play from Vodki stealing that. But you gotta really question the Queen of Pain running next to him. Or the team for not telling the team that RP was stolen. Because that was a very obvious RP steal. So some team miscommunication there. Hurting the TI9 champs, looking like they are not necessarily on the way to being the G1 League champs. Of course, this is the best out of 3, so even if they lose, they still get to have a shot at coming back, but they will be on the brink of being knocked out of the event. Assault Cuirass not up yet on the Lundra, but Kux pretty much has it now. In fact, he does. He's got that Assault Cuirass. He's even got a little extra gold. If he had it there, they might have been able to get racks, but without it, they'll settle for a tier 3. They'll back off. This time, Vodki is sitting on the stolen RP, and he's going to have it for a while. He'll have it for a good minute and a half, 2 minutes or so. And with that, with the Assault Cuirass and the Lundra, they may just want to try and break the base. TI9 champs is hard to break the base against them, but you have Darkseer, RP on the Rubik, as well as Ravage. You definitely have the better 5-man at this point. And if you wait too long, well, they're going to have the better access to the Roshan pit. Also, Luna may get another item. That's where the illusions really start to hurt. That could end up being the MVP of this game, is either the Shadow Demon illusions or the Darkseer stolen illusion. We'll see. Queen of Pain, no item progression on I Am Fucking Pro. It's completely halted, but T-Duck, oh, he's gone back for the hood. He wants that pipe, but he's going to die again, and he's going to be delayed a bit more in getting it. Blink Dagger, though, will be picked up by the Tidehunter. That's a big item. Blink Ravage. You really want to start with the Blink Ravage. Then it gives your Rubik a chance to find the opening for the perfect Blink RP. So despite the fact that they already have Blink RP, this is still a big item pickup. Just instant initiation. Maybe catch that Luna before she can pop her BKB. If you're quick enough, if you Ravage right on top of her. Blink on the Rubik, sitting at about a minute and a half or so of time left. 120 seconds. A little bit less than the halfway, so looking at like 90 to 100. And now the Luna Illusion's going to start sieging out that mid tower. There is a glyph here. Not being popped just yet. Working on the tower, bouncing on through. The bear AC up will help them a lot against the Assault Cuirass, or against the Luna Illusions. Now the TPs come back. They have the Blink Ravage. The Tidehunter Blink has not been shown. This is an opening if they want to fight, but if they want to fight, they have to go soon. No smoke. He's not smoking yet. They're just hurdling. They're waiting for their Darks here. They're going to give up the tower. They want to fight inside the base. Yeah, T-Duck not having buyback. Probably the smarter decision. I thought he was going to be up by then, but he's actually very highly leveled at this point in the game. 17 minutes in. Considering the number of deaths he's had, that's pretty solid. He's 5 and 7 as a 1v1 Darkseer in the offlane. Died a lot more than I expected he would, but credit TI9 champs for keeping him down. Famofu getting close to a Desolator, so they're about to have Desolator and Assault Cuirass. They will be able to Ninja Roshan and mow your base down very quickly. That'll be minus 11 armor on the buildings, on the heroes, on the Roshan. If they get a medallion, it'll be extra good on those units. Of course, it doesn't affect the buildings, but still a nice item. It's a bit late for it, though. Gem up on Vodki. No gem up for the TI9 champs just yet. 4-step acquired on Mag. Pretty much nothing too unusual. Oh, I Am Fucking Pro. Almost dies. Will blink into the trees. Can't escape. He gets vacuumed, though. He blinks again. Now he should TP out. He's not doing so yet. He kind of wants to fight. Maybe worried about getting ravaged. Where's he going to go? He blinks to the right. Now he'll TP. The farthest possible location. They know where he is, but it doesn't matter. He'll be fine. Smoke from Vodki in the tree line. BKB up on Queen of Pain. Finally, it's done. I'm fucking pro at a really good start, but he has slowed down a lot. This guy was getting 3-4 kills in team fights, or at least securing them for his team. He got a double kill on the safe lane of Rilimin earlier this game. But I guess he stopped eating his Wheaties. Here comes the RP from the mag, potentially. No, lifted up in the air. The Rubik stolen RP is gone now. Doesn't have it anymore. Waited too long to use it. Now the Entangle. All that mag. Maybe a little Ravage. Blink away from the Tide Hunter. It's Whack-A-Mole, though, and they're giving chase. Oh, boy. Cucks with the bear. Chasing one way. Blinking. RP just on Vodka. They want to bring him down quickly, but the Skewer is there. Vacuum in from the Darkseer. A beautiful vacuum. The Ice Path as well. Eclipse from the Luna doing good damage. Vodka has not stolen anything, but Fumofo is here with a BKB at his prime, looking for kills. Out for blood. Out for vengeance. Gonna find some. The bear is pulled back in. The Queen of Pain jumps to the right. Meanwhile, Shadow deeming to fall. That's 4 heroes dead. That RP just on the Rubik. He was tired of having it stolen, but they need that RP on the TA. They need that RP. Oh boy. Vaki overextends. Nice play by him, fucking pro. Fumofo wants to avenge him. He's trapped. He's trapped. He'll be okay.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Meanwhile, Dire Courier gets picked off. Nice play by Fumofo. He was actually hunting that Queen of Pain, but he'll settle for a Courier instead. In the chaos, that's just a disastrous result. And Roche is back up. That might be it. With this fight, Rilimin may be able to break the base. They're going to have that -11 armor on buildings. They're going to have an Aegis. It's not cheese, but still. Give it to Fumofo in my book. I'm not sure. Lone Druid is just not a great hero for the Aegis, because once he dies, he comes back in that standard form. But they're going to give it to Cux again. Fumofo saying, I have BKB, I'll be fine. There's an RP cooling down. Rubik is dead. So maybe they won't go. But within that next 6 minutes, you probably want to try and break this base. They can farm. They can angle for later game. But I really think this is their time. This is their place. And they now finally have the Pipe of Insight. The most important item in all of Dota 2. It's arrived on the Darkseer. He's been working on it. Gem was picked up in the cast by Cux. This was originally held by Vodki before he died, so good awareness by him to grab that. And important is that could have been some economic damage going the way of TI9 champs, but in the end, they just completely got slaughtered. Rilimin looking solid in this game 1. They seem a lot more stable than the old FTFC, not being quite as cocky. Still some, you know, sloppy decision-making here and there. Fumofo overextending occasionally, but not to the degree that we saw in the past from them in last season of the G1 League. He claims he hasn't played in 3 months, but he's playing pretty well in spite of it. 10-2-5. Really is spearheading his team this game. Sometimes in the past, you look at Fumofo, you say, hey, K-Phoenix is carrying him on that Tinker. That good old K-Phoenix Tinker, but there's no more K-Phoenix here. He's been replaced, and it is actually Fumofo doing most of the heavy lifting in this game. They're going to look to push down the mid lane. With the Pipe, the Mech, the AC, the Desolator, the Aegis, they might wait for the Lone Druid MKB. That could be the one thing that they want, as Luna has evasion now. But once they get that MKB, you don't really need to save for Daedalus. Crystallis is plenty on the TA at this point. You can still burst down most of the T9 champs heroes. Darkseer, here's the blanket from Bach. You gotta start the fight with the telekinesis lift, but the vacuum is there. Catches out too. They're not in range for a follow-up. The Ravage has not arrived yet. Keep an eye on Vodki. Can he steal RP in this fight? Can he steal that Eclipse even? Haven't seen Eclipse steal, because really you want the RP. I mean, you already have a lot of damage. You don't really need more. What you need is just more lockdown. Pipe will be deployed. Maybe a second or two early. You generally want to deploy it right as that wave dies, but they're going to break high ground now. There's a Glyph. This is going to drop quickly. Macropyre just used on the Bear, which will juke to the right. Continue mauling on the Rex. Would like to see Fumofo go in for one auto attack, but they're purging the Bear. They're bringing it down quickly. The reason you want to hit the Rex is then you'll get some additional minus armor on it. Now he goes in, but the Bear is dead. not able to save it. So a good start to the fight with that bear dead. BKB forced out by Famofu. Uh-oh. They need to take this Rex and get the hell out, because as soon as this ends, they're going to go right in on him. He can't blink yet, and they want to fight now. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. What a disastrous start to the fight. Now the RP does catch a few, but Rubik is here. Vodka has stolen it. He can come in, bring down that Queen of Pain. Will RP him. What a ridiculous, sensational Ravage vacuum combo. Great teamwork from Rilimin. Buyback for the Queen of Pain, but they get the Rex. They will get out. They still have the Aegis on the Lone Druid. They lost Famofu. He BKB'd too early there. Got caught out of position. But call it a big victory. A victory for them. What is a victory? I don't even know what a victory is. What is English, and why can I not speak it? Don't lose your bear, Cox. Oh, he might lose it. He already lost one. 2 bears potentially down. It will be surged away. An additional blink shockwave. That is big trouble, actually. They don't have the bear for a full minute. There's no RP, but it is cooling down. Vaki needs to get away. T-Duck needs to get away. They overstayed their welcome. I have no idea why they were still mid. They could have easily just backed off, but the bear kept running back in. That was a huge blunder by Rilimin. They lost the bear. If they lose another hero or two, potentially we could be looking at the TI9 champs going right back down mid and trying to force an issue. They almost lose the tide. They will get out safely in the end. What a filthy combo. That one does deserve some dubstep, some highlight reel action. That was pretty well coordinated, I gotta say. The vacuum comes in right as the blink Ravage occurs. There's just no way to deal with that. Here's gonna come the vacuum as well, but this time, there's no Ravage. That's cooling down. SDN actually has a completed butterfly. I didn't realize he was so close. Still, Lone Druid, MKB is up, just needs to wait for that bear to respawn. Then he'll have it. And an MKB on the Lone Druid will be big. With that, they can bring Luna down quickly. In the last fight, she lived for a while. Because they don't have a Hex. They don't have a Chronosphere. They don't have a way to remove that evasion otherwise. Famofu lurking in the front lines. They're baiting him, though. It's a really nice spread from Rilimin. Just boom, 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 boom. Just no way to get a good RP. If you had Ravage and you blink here, maybe you could just clip him, but the Ravage is on the side of Rilimin. Still, they do push the lane in. They get the creep equilibrium going back their way. As soon as they back off, Rilimin looking like they want to smoke. Here we go. They're going to sit behind the Lone Druid, maybe circle around in front of him. We'll see. They're all smoked up. The clash will begin. The battle begins. Famofu leading the charge. Cuck's in the front lines, but really, he's in the back. He's being protected by his team right now. This is an illusion. Don't believe your eyes. And they're going to head straight top. Queen of Pain, does she have buyback? No. Already used in the last fight. 2 minutes with no buyback. This is an opening. They can go here. I'll blink. Blink Force Staff into a lift. This will be death for Queen of Pain. Down he'll go. Easy kill picked up and no buyback on Queen of Pain. This should be 2 lanes of Rax. Without that Queen of Pain, it is actually going to be very hard for them to fight. They could try and stall, though. We'll see if they can do it, but it's 80 seconds. It's such a long time. The only thing is they don't have a Lone Druid respawn on the bear. And Vodki actually stole Scream. Why did he give up the RP? Oh, Vodki. I mean, just so confident he can steal it again, but you never know. Well, they're mauling away on the Rex now. It's dropping quickly. Famofu is going to chip in on it. Reducing that armor as well. The Lone Druid Bear no longer doing so. The debuff actually lasts quite a long time on that Desolator. So you can just hit it once in a while and back off. That's what I was talking about earlier. Is you just kind of want to go in, plink at it once or twice, then let the bear do most of the work. We're going to see this tower drop to -11 armor. There's a vacuum. Just missing his T-Duck. Lippy probably wants to stay back, be the counter initiate for his team with that Blink Ravage. T-Duck gets purged, but there's no follow-up yet. Mag blinks in, skewers the bear only, and that bear can be resummoned. That's not the target he wanted to hit. Luna, Lucent beaming that bear, has the Helm of the Dominator, but they've gotten the Rex. They're just going to back on off. They even earned the bear to try and bring it down. It runs into the ice pad, blinking from Tide, Ravage to fly, only catches Lilith. Not a good Ravage. There's your RP. That was good, but it's stolen by Vodki. Once again, into the clusterfuck will go. There's Ravage, or RP number 2. Your big, real Ravage onto SDN. Down for the count. Buyback from Jakiro. Can't do a thing. This is game. That's going to be it for the TI9 champs. Vodki stole RP like 6 times this game. The new drafter for this team. Potentially the captain. I think Famofu might not be anymore. Well, it should be game. It should be game, but Famofu is just casually strolling into the enemy fountain. Cuck says, I will end the game while you try to throw it. A lot of buybacks. TA will buy back, look to rejoin the fight. TP's in mid, but it's a really long way to run. Vodki dropping low. I'm fucking pro, looking to get the kill. He'll go down to a gush. Meanwhile, where'd that lone druid go? He stopped going for the racks. He wants some more kills. John H, anchor smashed. One more auto attack from that bear. Here we go. Here we go. Down he'll go. No! Hold back in. They want to win. They want to end this game. 46 minutes in. What a ridiculous game. So many stolen RPs. So many insane team fights. And it felt like a really slow game in spite of it. But you look at the kill count. 65 kills in 46 minutes. This is a best out of 3, guys. This was only game 1. It's actually not over yet. We're going to head into game 2. Let's see if the TI9 champs can bounce back. If they lose, they're out. Quickly, we look at the brackets. You're watching the G1 League Southeast Asian Open Qualifier. 8 teams will advance. There's only 16 left. Actually 17, but basically 16, as we haven't played one of the round 1 matches. That'll be played later today. The winner of this best out of 3 moves on. The loser goes home. Who will it be? We'll start to answer that potentially in the next game, as game 2 is coming up. I'm LD. If you enjoy my casting, as always, be sure to follow me. Twitter.com/LDDota. And be sure to watch these games over on the G1 League website, g1.2p.com. Stay tuned. Game 2 after this.